It is time to break down more of those brackets. It's that time of the year as we get to have some more football chatter. As Zak Ibrahim will be joining us from Salina Radio. He's with KSAL there in Salina. The voice of not only Salina Central, but Salina South. Man, I got to imagine this is an exciting Friday night. We'll talk about the excitement of that matchup, but hey, no travel for either one of your teams this week, Zak.
Yeah, I mean, this is really exciting, Cole, and thank you for having me. I definitely feel lucky to be able to broadcast the first playoff game between South and Central football in 21 years. It's pretty amazing.
All right, break it down for me. I mean, I've been following Central all year, right? I mean, they're off to, they got off to that great start. They're 9-1 coming into this Friday's matchup. South, to me, like when Ozores took over, you knew it was just going to be a matter of time before he got things going because he had success there in Russell. Like, what has been key for South in picking up these last two playoff wins?
Well, in talking to the players and talking with Coach O, it's been a lot about before the season even started, going back to last winter when they decided we need to really get in the weight room. We need to be more physical. And it's been a total buy-in from not only the seniors, but from the top down. Azor, as you mentioned, his turnaround that he went through in Russell. So he knows what it takes to have a program be more successful than South has been in the past. And I think when you look at a 1-7 record in the regular season, the same they had last regular season, you may say, okay, same old Cougars. But if you actually watched these games, not just even looked in the box score, South lost 3 one-possession games. The way they lost all those games was heartbreaking. They were in all of them, and they were just more competitive this year. So it's been a total buy-in from even back to this past winter when they got in the weight room. They decided we need to get stronger. We need to, because they play in such a tough league. I mean, they're playing
Yeah.
Mays, the best team in 6A this year. And so they know what their competition is like. And then another part of it, too, you got to have a quarterback. And they have a sophomore who stepped up, Israel Tellez. Is a 2,000-yard passer. The poise that he's shown in these playoffs has helped them get to this round. So it's been a complete and total buy-in from the program, finding their young quarterback that they're going to have for years now. That's already been promising, and just a total buy-in from the top down.
Well, and for you being there in Salina and following these teams week in and week out, like for Salina South to go into the postseason and get that opening round win, that's a big upset, and people are okay. But then to go out and do it in the next round as well with wins over Liberal and Andover, like that had to have been fun, just kind of catching the eyes across the state.
It was incredible. I mean, we were keeping up with scores. I was doing the Central game against Topeka West, and we had one of our awesome part-time broadcasters over in Andover, and he's sending us updates. And they're leading after one quarter, they're trailing at the half, and then as we enter the fourth quarter, Andover didn't score in the third, and it was like, wow, South's defense is really stepping up. And that was just a possession-to-possession game. I believe both teams only had the ball 4 or 5 times. Obviously running the football really, really well. And the way that Andover game ended was storybook stuff. Maddox Gerard, a linebacker for Salina South, hurt his thumb on the first series of the game, played with his hand wrapped up, ended up being the player to force the fumble. Andover had it inside the 5-yard line. Maddox Gerard forces a fumble. He falls on it with his injured hand. And the Cougars are in kneel-down position. They're in victory formation for the first time this season. And they knock off the 3 seed. So it was just the way that first round game went was complete storybook stuff. And then on the road at Liberal, it was like, well, can this defense do it again? Liberal had put up 40 points the week before. South holds them to 3 in the first half. They forced 2 turnovers. This defense is just playing at another level right now. So that's been a huge key in both these games. The offense is doing its thing. They're running the ball really well. Israel Tellez isn't turning the ball over. But defensively, it's just been at another level.
And then for Central, I mean, it's been fun watching that offense and just the amount of weapons and how they use those throughout the season. It kind of give me the rundown of what's made Central so effective this year.
Well, they were really excited about their junior quarterback coming in this year, Griffin Hall, son of a coach, and you can tell when you talk to him, very mature guy. And when I first watched Griffin, obviously the accuracy stands out when you're watching him in practice and in these early games. What I did not expect, Cole, was his ability to run the football. And this is a guy who's run for over 700 yards. He's not the biggest kid, but he's so elusive. And you might think, okay, smaller guy, a lot of speed, but he can run in between the tackles. And he knows that he has one of the best offensive lines in 5A in front of him, protecting him and opening up holes for him. And then it also helps to have the second leading rusher in the state of Kansas in Cooper Reeves. And this has been a guy who is really a joy to watch. I mean, he's a wrestler out there on the football field. That's his best sport. But you can tell when it comes to trying to tackle him, his sense of balance, his footwork. This is a really tough guy to bring down and a really tough offense to start because the defense is in a position where at any point the quarterback or the running back, the backfield could rip off a run to give you, not only a first down, but just completely break your heart. And then they've got some senior receivers on the outside, Bodie Rodriguez, Gannon Cole. These are guys that have really stepped up inside the red zone when Central decides to pass the football. But everything starts with that offensive line, and that helps them run the football with their backfield that's so dynamic.
All right, being a broadcaster for both those teams, I'm not going to put you in a position to pick this Friday night. But, I mean, go back to that week 1 Governors matchup, like that 31-21. So South was already competitive in that game against Central. That was a long time ago. But just talk about the excitement of having these two teams square off at this stage of the season.
Well, I can tell you, Cole, after week 1, I walked away from that game, and I was learning in real time about both these teams. And I walked away from week 1 and I thought, I don't know how it would happen. I don't know if they would put them in the same side of the bracket. I just hope there's a chance that these two teams play each other again. That game was so fun and very competitive. It was the most competitive game that these teams have played in the regular season in quite some time. It's been a little bit lopsided with Central dominating in the regular season. But the fact that they haven't played each other in the postseason in, like I said, 21 years, that has completely got the community involved. South's run has obviously made a lot of people really, really happy. But South doesn't see it as they've been pulling off upsets. They see it as we've believed the entire time we were capable of doing this. Meanwhile, with Central, this is the most games they've won in a season dating back to 2005 when they won a state championship. Wow. And they have a chance to go to go even further than they did in 2022 when they won 8 games. So Central's in a position now to have the most success they've had under their head coach in Mark Sambo. And for South, I mean, this is something they believed they could do the entire time. And I got to tell you, the South and Central parts of town, everyone's really excited about this game. And you can just tell in the community, I'm sure the kids are going out, and these guys are friends too on both sides. Like, they know each other, right? So there's a lot of, I'm sure, friendly back and forth going on. But when they hit the field, it's going to be an amazing atmosphere, obviously. South didn't know if they didn't think they'd play another game at Salina Stadium, because they shared the same home field. This is obviously going to be a Central home game. But for these South kids, having another chance to play at home in front of friends and family, specifically these seniors, and then for Central, the class of seniors they have are just absolute studs. So it's going to be a great atmosphere and a great stage that both these teams deserve.
Love this time of the year. Exciting stuff. Zach, appreciate it, and have fun on the call this Friday.
Thank you so much, Cole.
That is Zak Ibrahim, a member of the KSAL radio squad out of Salina. He'll have the call this Friday night for Central and South.